And we are live for episode 21 of the Alt Natives After Hours podcast. I'm your host, Popko, and the show is brought to you by Axelrad Screen Printing in Wilkes-Barre and the TheVspot bar in Scranton. And today I am joined by Gus The Savage. What's up, brother?
That's me. How's it going? What's going on, man?
Just living that quarantine life. I feel like I say that all the time, you know?
Yeah, I know what that feels like.
Yeah, how you guys doing through all this? Your family good?
Yeah, my family's good. I stay with my grandfather, so I, take care of him and make sure he's all right. My sister's doing well with her family. We're all just trying to stay safe and stay positive because eventually outside's going to be open again. So I'm excited for that.
I hope sooner than later, man. That's for sure. But are you in NEPA right now?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, cool. And you're not originally from here, correct? You're from the Bronx. Is that true?
Yes, I'm from the Bronx, New York, originally. I moved out here maybe like 4 years ago when my mom passed away, and then that's when I started my NEPA journey.
Very cool. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're here under unfortunate circumstances, but glad to have you. I feel like you've been making quite the name for yourself over the past year and a half.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
I winning the Steamtown Music Award for Hip Hop Act of the Year. Then I did the Electric City Music Conference, which was a blast. And then I also won an award at the 570 Music Show for Best Original Artist. I say 2019 was a real good year for me.
And I feel like you were probably ready to build on that in 2020 prior to COVID-19 kind of derailing the entire world.
Yes, definitely. I had so many plans, so many big plans. Like I had gotten my merch table, I got T-shirts, I got copies of my album. I was ready for the Riff Raff show. It was all
Right.
for the Riff Raff show because I had done Mac Lethal on March 1st, and that was awesome. But I didn't have anything. So I was prepared for Riff Raff. I'm like, this is going to be a huge show, Stage West. We're about to turn it up. Then the day before, Steve posts a status, the show's been postponed. And I'm like, oh. And that's when everything just started crashing down. NEPA scene postponed. Everything just started to derail, like you said. So it's been pretty tough for me and probably everyone else in the area who's had a game plan set for 2020.
Yeah, it's definitely been a challenge. I work in the media. I work in sales, so I'm constantly talking to business owners and things like that, and it's definitely a struggle. I feel as of the last week or so, people's spirits have been a little bit higher than the last 5 or 6 weeks. So that's hopeful. But I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the weeks to come. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, the weather's getting nice, so hopefully with this nice weather, everything's starting to lighten up. I'm really hoping for it. I'm trying to get back outside. I'm trying to get back on stage. I'm trying to get back to doing what I love doing. Rich posted the other day that the NEPA scene Rising Talent Competition was going to be back up in August. So hopefully it stays like that because I love doing that. I've been doing that since about 2018, and that's where Joe found me from. And then that's how everything just started tying itself into it.
Yeah, and you're young, right? You're 20?
Mm-hmm. 20 years old.
Not even 21 yet, so you can't even legally drink.
No, and that's, oh my God. I've had a lot of performers tell me, like, after my set, yo, let's get a shot. Let's get a shot. I'm like, can't do that right now.
Yeah.
Can't do that right now.
When do you turn 21?
October 26th.
Okay. Your birthday's
So
close to mine. Mine's November 1st.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so maybe if we're not on lockdown through the October, November, we can we'll do that first shot.
Definitely.
But so I mean, you're young, so you have I don't want to say you have all the time in the world because none of us know what the next day holds for us. But you're young. Let's leave it at that. You've been making a big name for yourself locally. You put out an EP. Was it earlier this year or end of last year?
Yeah, it was earlier this year on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
I did Savage 20, and that featured uh, plethora of local artists. I had Lucas Hex, Ty Soul, Amanda Rogan, Main the Medicine, Michael Does McDonald, Young Trav, YPC Ty, NGS Youngbo. Like I had my list of, like, I guess you could say double XL stars
Yeah,
on the
that's
album, and it was great. It was great. It was fun getting the chance to have them on the album, making the beats, watching it all go down. So it was a great time.
now. Did you just meet those people randomly, being out and doing the NEPA scene and just being out in this in the scene performing, or how did that kind of work out? Because those are some great names here locally, especially in the hip hop scene, or and then you have Amanda Rogan, whose voice is beautiful. Um,
Absolutely.
how did that all kind of play out?
I heard about Lucas X in 2016, and that's when I moved out here. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's some serious competition. Like he's doing all these shows, and I'm just starting. Like I got to get like him one day. And then in 2019, when I won the award at the SMAs, he was there, and I guess he was. I think he was nominated for the same award, and he came up to me after, and he shook my hand. I'm like, Lucas Hex. Like what? So, we talked there, and then I linked him up on Facebook, and I started talking to him, and I was like, dude, I want to get you on a song. If not, I need to get you on the album. And he's like, he was so down for it. And that's how I met Lucas Hex. I met Ty Soul at one of the shows back in July of last year, where Oliver Spitz did a whole thing for Hip Hop and R&B night, and um, I connected with Maine at a show again. Like everything was just through shows, We all connected through shows. Um, Amanda Rogan, I heard about her band, and I just reached out to her. I was like, you're a female vocalist. I like how you sound, and I think you would sound great on this album. Boom. So everything just started to come together. And once it was fully done, and I got all the finished songs, and everything was finally mixed and mastered, and I was happy with it, I was like, yeah, this has to be the one.
That's cool. And that's one thing I love about this scene here in NEPA. Um, everyone just wants to work together. Everyone wants to see people move forward and advance. And going back 10, 15 years ago, uh, it wasn't like that. It was very cutthroat. It was very, um, you know, the bands wanted them to be on the show, and they wanted to be the headliner. They wanted to be, the best, and they would have kind of walked over people to get there. And it's not like that anymore. It's definitely a community, and I really like to see that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like when you're on a bill with, some of these local artists, and you actually get a chance to meet them and talk to them like right before their set or right before your set, instantly it's like a connection. And then eventually that's when, collaborations start to happen, and then you guys get close, and then you become close friends, and then those close friends turn to family. And that's how I see everyone who's, ever come into my life and been up on my journey. I see them as a family. I see Ty Soul as like a brother to me. Man, I see him as like, an uncle, because he's older than I am. No disrespect. He's an OG, but he's like an uncle to me. I was having a rough time one day, and he gave me a call. He gave me some great advice. So, definitely. And Paulie too. I look up to Paulie, Mercy Gang. Shout out Mercy Gang. Everybody. There's, such great people, and meeting them, it's like, other people have their stories. Oh, I think that person is, so and so and so and so. But you got to like really sit down, talk to them, and conversate with them in order to get to know them.
Right. You said earlier you had quite a big 2020 planned. What did that look like before all this stuff went down? I mean, did you have, obviously you had shows lined up, collaborations. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I had this whole like mini bar tour going where the first stop was the Mac Lethal show. The second stop was Riff Raff. I had a music video release party that I added to the tour. And then my final spot was going to be opening night of NEPA Scene. Uh, then that's when this whole thing started to take over the area, take over the world. And then everything just started to crash, crash, crash. I started to lose everything. I had the Riff Raff show got postponed, then the party got postponed, and then I was just hoping. I'm like, okay, TheVspot still hasn't postponed anything. I'm still good for Tuesday. That's the last show. Boom, postponed. I was like, oh. So then there goes any chance for me to sell my CDs, any chance for me to sell my T-shirts, my stickers, and stuff like that. Things that I had prepared. I was so set. It was my first time having any merch at all. Like I didn't have merch prior to any of this. So having all that set and ready to go, I'm like, all right, boom, this is the plan. We're about to have everybody know who Gus the Savage is. And then boom, everything got shut down.
Yeah.
So it hurt. It hurt a lot.
It's cool though that you were prepared. It's cool that you had that mindset that to get all those things together, and because obviously you want to look professional. You want to look like you give a shit, and
Mm-hmm.
you know by getting that kind of stuff lined up, that definitely portrays that, which is great. I mean, you're a young man. Um, the sky's the limit right now.
Definitely.
So now I saw you. You had a thing called, and I think you're the lead on this. I'm not really sure. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But it was called the NEPA's Unsigned Artist Magazine.
Yes.
It was called that, and up until I think today,
Mm-hmm.
it got changed to NEPA Limelight.
Yes.
So what's that
So,
all about?
all right. So this is exactly how it happened. The night before, I guess I had a pretty good night, and I woke up the next day, and it was just like a fresh up the wake up thought. I was like, I want to make a page highlighting a whole bunch of different genres and more. So boom, I created the page, I created the logo, and I'm like, all right, I got the page. Now I need some writers and I need some people who are going to be involved. So I reached out to Nate World. He was like, I'm down. I reached out to Alana Weaver from 570 Press. She was down. I reached out to my good buddy of mine, Cody Black. He's also my assistant. I've been working with him for years. He was down. So we all came together. Boom, we started making posts. Within the first day, we got like 100 likes. So that was like a great start. And now we're up to 309, I believe, 309, 307, I could be mistaken. Um, we added Ty Soul as a member of the team, and we've got a whole bunch of podcasts lined up now. Now we're just posting frequently about new artists, and I'm trying to incorporate more type of art too. Like I want to feature art pieces. I want to feature, probably some businesses on the podcast too. Kind of like what NEPA scene is doing, but more for like the urban culture and or like anything that's real hidden to them and to others.
And why the name change?
Um, because of the direction the page was going. At first, it started off as just like, all right, I want to do unsigned music artists. And then we started, I got a comedian to get on the podcast, my good friend Mikhail, and we have Thomas Tourette. So I'm like, all right, now this is starting to get different. So I got to change the name to something that's going to fit in with everything we're trying to do. And I felt that, I didn't come up with that name. Cody came up with the name. And he was like, yeah, NEPA Limelight. And then I came up with like a little saying for it, shedding the light onto the stars of NEPA. Then I changed that to NEPA and more because we're really trying to expand, branch out, get everywhere. Like episode 8 of the podcast, we're gonna have someone from Detroit, and that's gonna probably be a nice little episode there. That's gonna get some views. Um, we've just been rocking it ever since April 6th we started, and now it's just been kicking off heavy.
And why? Why did you want to do that?
To give people a platform where they don't have to be afraid to reach out and be like, hey, can I get featured on here, or hey, can I get like a little shout out or something like that? Because I feel like me as an artist, when I first started, I didn't have anything like that. So like I said, I woke up and I wanted to give that to people who didn't get the chance that I did.
Gotcha. Well, it's cool. It's always good to see people making moves and making things happen because I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's a lot of people, not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot, 'cause that's not fair, but there's people in this area who like to complain about things. And instead of, doing something, they just complain about it. So, kudos to you for,
Mm-hmm.
making something happen, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it, and I didn't think that it was going to be like as successful as it is already. I thought it was just going to be something. All right, people are going to look at it and they're not going to pay attention to it. But with the team that, we are, and with the way our mindsets are, we're trying to really just reach out to the people, and they're coming in. They're like, wait a minute, these guys are serious. These guys have podcasts. So now I've had artists reach out to the page like, hey, get me on an episode, get me on an episode. So we're booked right now for the whole month of May, the whole month of June. Now we're looking into July. July might just get booked. Like, we're just getting episodes, and I feel like that's going to be a big part of the page. And then John Tyso, he came up with an idea for the page where he will probably have his own column where he features an artist of the week or an artist of the month, something like that.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I'll look for my invitation in the mail.
Oh yeah, definitely we'll have you on. We'll definitely have you on.
Just kidding, man. Just want to bust it a little bit. You said hip hop isn't like a huge thing in this area.
Mhm.
It just isn't. I don't know why. It is what it is. But how what are the hurdles that you've experienced because of that? I mean,
Uh, Fan base, booking shows, I feel like that's really hard because what I've noticed is at a lot of these shows, there's like rock bands, pop bands, alternative rock bands, and stuff like that. And that's what this area is like, likes to feed off of. Oh yeah, give me the rock band, give me some drums, give me all that. And that's awesome. I love it. I love rock music. Rock music's awesome. Like every time I go to a show and I see these bands play, it's just like, wow, I wish I could do something. But instead, I have lyrics that come out of my mouth, sometimes very fast, in rhymes, on beats. And some people enjoy that a lot. And then there's a large chunk of people who are like, all right, this is cool. I'm going to drink some more, and maybe I'll get drunk and enjoy this a little bit better, you know? So it's hard finding a target crowd, and it's hard finding a show that really fits in with everything you're trying to do. Because you can't put a hip hop act with send requests unless it's like a festival.
sure.
You can't I can't go open up for Breaking Bad unless I got like some rock music. Then that's different. So I feel like booking shows and finding your target audience is very difficult, especially if you're like just starting out or just trying to reach a specific group of people.
Right. And like I said earlier, I mean, you really have built quite the name for yourself in the little time you've been here, specifically over the last year and a half or so. I mean, and what would you contribute that to? Just hustling and just being involved with everything you can be, or what does that look like?
Hard work and dedication, I feel, and using the resources around me, because that's another thing I feel that local artists should start doing. Whoever's not doing it, reaching out to your local news outlets, like yourself, all natives. I reached out to them like, hey, how can I get a song put on radio? Boom, and, we talked about it. Or getting on a podcast like NEPA Scene, or my own podcast, or this one right here. Just connecting with people at these bars that you go to. Even if you're not performing, talk to somebody there. You never know who you're going to talk to. Or even after performance, you don't know who's in the crowd. You can have somebody from the record label in the crowd. I just feel like everybody should start using the resources around them, because that's exactly what I started doing. I use the Rising Talent competition to my advantage. I'm like, this is streamed live every Tuesday. I'm going to go every Tuesday, and I'm going to make sure that this bar knows who Gus The Savage is. Now, every time I do it, the bar loves me. The bartenders, yo, Gus The Savage, what's going on? Vinny, I love Vinny. Vinny's cool. I can't go in there without a guardian. Soon enough, though, Vinny, catch me there. October 26th, if coronavirus is over, I'm in there and I'm slapping my ID on the table. I'm ready for it.
He's coming, Vinny. He's coming. He's taking it over.
TheVspot's like my home, especially ever since I started doing that Rising Tech competition. I've grown
Yeah.
to, the crowd. I love them because they're really into it. They're interactive, especially, if they got a couple drinks in them. But that's besides the point. They're very um, loud, for the most part. If you're
Yeah.
good, if you're, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're a boring act, I don't find any acts boring because I feel like everybody got talent. But in their eyes, if you're a boring act, you're not gonna get you're gonna get very little. Oh, woo! That's about it. you got to really
Yeah.
spice it up with the V-Spot because it's very diverse there.
Yeah, the V-Spot's great. I talked to Vinny quite a bit. He's hanging in there right now. He's just really looking forward to getting people like yourself back on the stage and serving the drinks and just having a good time, because that's what Vinny's all about. Is just entertaining and giving people like you a platform to perform.
Definitely.
It's a bummer that this is the state we're living in right now with this virus, but I always say I hope we get out sooner than later. That's for sure.
Yes, for sure.
But
Like I said earlier, I miss it a lot. I miss getting on stage, grabbing that mic. See, boy, Gus The Savage, what's going on?
where did the name come from?
2015, I had this girlfriend who lived out here, and I did this remix to Straight Outta Compton, and I played it for her. She was like, "My boyfriend's a savage," and I was like, "Yep, Gus The Savage." Boom, and it stuck with me.
Sounds good, man. I like it.
And unfortunately, well, not so unfortunately, I don't even know why I said that. I'm not with that girl anymore. I'm happily taken right now with my girlfriend Haley. We've been together for just about 8 months, and I couldn't ask for better.
Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely, definitely.
I believe that. Yeah. So let's say that the the state opens up tomorrow. What's next for Gus The Savage?
If everybody can, stay safe and we're back opened up again, and we get to go back into, going to these bars and going to these venues, you will definitely find me on a stage doing my thing, because that's exactly what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to get back on stage. I'm ready to get back on my grind, get back into some studios, because I know there's a whole bunch of studios around there that I definitely got to get into because I got work to do. I have like my little home set up, but it's not as good as I want it to be. So I need to get back to work because I got a whole mixtape idea. I got album ideas, single ideas. I definitely got to get back to work. Um, so that's definitely what the plan would be. I would get right back to doing exactly what I started doing, and that's making a name for myself.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Well, I hope it happens soon. I hope we have the Steamtown Music Awards this year. I hope we have the conference this year. I know
Yes.
that's kind of been a lot of people have been talking about that. We don't know what's going to happen. I was watching some podcasts with Joe and Ken, and
Mm,
they just don't know right now. It's far away, but I mean, obviously the health of everyone involved is the most important thing. So
definitely.
I guess we'll see what happens. But that's where I think I first officially met you was last
Mm-hmm.
year at that.
Yep, he was sipping a little Coors Light, and I was like, "That's Popko. I gotta go over there."
Yeah, that's a great night. It's a great opportunity to really just network with people.
Oh, definitely, I met a lot of people that day.
Yeah, yeah. Ken and Joe do a great job. Um, yeah,
For
Rich was there
sure.
doing the interviews, and Ionic Development was doing the red carpet thing, which was cool. And yeah, it's a great event, great weekend. So hopefully we'll
That
be.
was that was like my first time for everything. That was my first time being on the red carpet, first time being interviewed at the red carpet, and believe it or not, I was nominated for 2 awards, and I didn't think that I was gonna win either one. I'm like, all right, I'm going in here, but I'm going in there high spirits. I'm like, all right, I may win, I may not win, but it's okay because this is gonna be fun. I get to meet new people, I get to connect, and Pat Kieran. If I mispronounce that, I'm sorry, but he's from the Times newsletter, and he does the Weekender, and he was announcing for the winner of Hip Hop Act of the Year, and you couldn't really hear him because everybody was so loud. And I'm in the back, and all of a sudden, all I hear is Gus the Savage. My head exploded the whole way there. I'm saying no effing way, no effing way. Had nothing prepared when I got up there. I was just shout out everybody. It was crazy, mind blowing
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, it's cool. I was fortunate enough to take home the radio personality of the year,
Yes.
and dude, I have no business being up there in that. With the names that were involved. You had Lissa from KRZ, and you had all those guys have been doing it for years. They're on radio for 4 or 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they're the pros. And I was just honored to be, my name listed next to there. So for me to win, that was really cool.
Yeah,
So I know how you feel.
yeah,
That's for
it's
sure.
exactly how I felt when I seen the nominations list. I'm like, all right, I haven't been doing this for that long. Like, and then winning, I was like, all right, I did that. Like, I couldn't believe it. And then when they explained how it was voted for, I'm like, so people all over the nation really enjoyed my music? Interesting.
Cool.
Um, I got a chance to be on KRZ. That was a fun time. Shout out Lizzo.
Yeah, she's
She was a
great.
great lady.
She is. But where can people find your music?
On all platforms, really. You can go on Spotify, you can go on Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal, whatever you want to listen to it on. Type up Gus The Savage, and you can check out my recent album. If you go on SoundCloud, you can check out my recent and past albums, my singles that I've released over the years on SoundCloud mostly. Trying to get some more new music out on Spotify and all other platforms because that's what I'm really trying to focus on. When I started, it was all like YouTube beats, so I couldn't really do anything with them. But with the Savage 20 album, all man-made produced beats by my closest producer friends. And they did their thing on that. So if you haven't heard that, you better go check it out. If you don't, Lucas X is gonna get you, and everybody else on the album, they're coming for you.
Is there anything on that album that is safe for radio play that I could jump on? Because I've been playing I Want It All for I think since like September last year.
Yeah.
So I think we're due for some new stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the song with Lucas Hex is good for radio play. Just probably have to do some tweaking a little bit because there's probably like one or two curse words. Actress featuring myself and Ty Soul was definitely a good one to play. In my head, I don't think I curse in that one at all. So that one is golden. You could
Okay.
definitely play that one. And Gus versus the Savage too. There's a few that I'm definitely gonna have to send over to you because I want to
Yeah,
get those out there.
please do. By all means, please do. And last question. I mean, where does the inspiration for your songs come from? I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't listened to a lot of your stuff outside of what you sent me. I've perused the new album you have. But as far as what you write about, what you sing about, how does that work?
It's all um, really about some of these things I write and record. I do songs to like relate to people. I talk about what I'm going through. Like I dropped a little mixtape last year over the summer, King of 570, and that whole thing was just like the beginning was about me, and the second song was about suicide. The third one was about wanting it all, which was I Want It All. And then the last three were about like a hard breakup and losing, your loved one or whatever the case may be. So I try to connect to the people on a different level. I try to make some club bangers. I try to make some songs that's gonna have people shaking their booty, you know what I'm saying? So I really just try to be all over the place, very versatile with it. I want everybody to enjoy my music.
Yeah. I mean, and going back to what I said, it wasn't a knock on you saying I don't listen to any music. I actually, when I listen to music, a lot of times it's just I listen for the music and the beat and the rhythm and things like that. I don't pay really attention to lyrics a lot of times, but that's any music I listen to. So it wasn't that I don't listen to what you're saying. That's why I asked because I this stuff doesn't. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't sit down and really dive into that kind of stuff. I'm not sure why.
And also, like a lot of it comes from my mom, because before she passed away, when we lived in New York, I would write songs down and I would bring the beat over to her on my phone, and I would rap it for her, and she would tell me, "Oh, you got talent. You're gonna get somewhere. You're gonna get somewhere. You're gonna get somewhere." So that's another, influence right there. And of course, New York in general is a big influence for the music, because I'm from the city where hip hop was born.
Right. Of course. Well, man, thanks so much for taking the time to chat tonight. I do appreciate it. Anybody watching or listening, make sure you put Gus the Savage on your radar because if you don't, he will.
Facts. I'll
So
make sure to tag you and everything I post. Nah, just kidding. I gotta stop doing that. A lot of people get annoyed
you could tag me. That's fine.
when
It's all good, man.
um,
That's how you do it. You gotta. It's all part of the game. So,
yeah, it's definitely a part of the grind.
but well, I hope you and your family continue to stay safe and stay healthy. And like I said earlier, I hope I see you again sooner than later. And make sure you get me those songs so I can add them to the rotation.
Definitely, I'm definitely gonna have to. I'll probably go into FL right now and do some tweaking. If you guys want to follow me, you guys can find me on Instagram at _official Gus the Savage, Facebook Gus the Savage, Snapchat Gus the _Savage, and the same goes for Twitter Gus the _Savage. And if you're an artist and want to come on a podcast, go follow NEPA Limelight, and we'll definitely hook you up.
Cool. Well, thanks again, man.
Absolutely. Thank you
All right.
for having me on.
Be well.